Hi guys, my name's MSA if you're new. So today I'm going to be doing a pinky mauvey glitter eyeshadow makeup look. I saw this done by a makeup artist who I really love. Her name is Makeup by Ja. Yeah, absolutely love her, and ever since I saw her makeup look I've been obsessed, so I decided to recreate it. So it's my first time starting off a video with just my base done, which is new for me. Usually I do a little intro, but I decided to just switch things up a little bit. So as you can see, my face is done. So what I'm going to do first of all is put some eyeshadow primer, and this is by Urban Decay. This is their primer potion in the shade Caffeine. Then I'm just going to use a blending brush just to blend it in to my concealer, which I use to cut my brows. I will warn you, I'm going to be using a number of palettes. I'm going to be switching in between them, but all the details will be down below. The first one is a Jackie Aina palette, and I'm using the shade Supreme, and this is a MAC 224 brush. I'm just going to put that into my transition area. So I'm getting some fallout. I'm just going to use some translucent powder and just pack that on underneath my eyes, and that will just stop the eyeshadow from migrating to the rest of my face. Back in with that transition color again. Next color is the shade Pinker, and I'm just using a MAC 217 brush to just buff that in onto the outer third of my eye and also up towards the crease. Just going back in with that same MAC 224 brush, there's no product, and I'm just blending in those two shades together just a little bit more. Now I'm going back in with my trusty Morphe Dare to Create palette and this dark purple shade. This is a small fluffy brush by Morphe, and I'm just packing that into the outer third of my eye just to deepen that area and just smoke it out a little bit more. And again, slightly up towards my crease. I love these colors. The next color is from the Juvia's Place Saharan palette. I'm using that pink shimmer. This is called Fulla, and just a flat shaded brush, and I'm just going to put that mainly on the center of my lid, and I'm kind of smearing it on just to get the maximal color payoff. Oh, one thing about Juvia's Place is that their eyeshadows are always so pigmented, and I really love that. Then for the inner corner of my eyes, I'm using a highlighter by Maybelline. This is the Molten, it's a Chrome Extreme. Yeah, just Chrome Extreme. It's the shade Molten Rose Gold, and I'm just using a fine detailer brush. This is by Real Techniques. I'm just putting that in the inner part of my upper eyelid. It's not quite standing out as much as I want, so I'm just going to spray my brush with some fixing spray. Yeah, that's better. Just going to go back in with that pink shade again, the bright pink shade called Fulla, and just so that it blends into that lighter pink shade a bit better. Just patting that on. And again, using my MAC 224 brush, there's no product on it, and I'm just going to blend just the top part of that shadow back into that transition shade again. Time for some glitter. I'm going to use the Nyx Glitter Primer, just putting a dab of it on my fingertip and just popping that onto the center of my lid. Before it dries, I'm using this glitter palette by Revolution and this shade, and I'm just going to pat that on top of the glitter. And you only need a small amount because I don't want it to chunky glitter look, but just on the center of the lid, and that just helps, it just catches the light beautifully. Okay, so I'm just going to do a winged liner and put on my lashes off camera, and I'll be right back. I am so sorry, but the battery in my microphone cut out and I just wasn't aware, so I'm going to be voicing over from this point onwards. This is just what happens when you're filming. Anyways, I'm just removing the excess powder before finishing off my lower lash line. I'm just using that same dark purple shade I used in the outer corner of my upper eyelids just to smoke it out. Then a little bit of the pink shimmer shade towards the inner part of my lower eyelid. And then I went back in with that pink I used as my transition shade, and I applied it with a small blending brush just to the bottom part of those two eyeshadows, just so that they didn't have any harsh edges. And finally adding a little bit more of that highlighter, but on the lower part of my inner tear ducts. And then finishing off my eyes with mascara, my trusty L'Oreal Telescopic, which hands down is my favorite mascara. It just grabs my small lashes really well, and I also put some onto my upper lashes just to blend them in with the falsies. For highlighter, I'm using Fenty Beauty Moscow Mule just on the high points of my face and putting some onto my Cupid's bow, and then I also pinch the brush and pop some underneath my brows. For lips, I'm using Chestnut by MAC just to blend out the lipstick a bit more, but you can skip this step, you don't have to do it. And for lipstick, I'm using Huda Beauty Bullet Matte. This is in the shade Payday. I love this formulation. It's one of my favorite mattes, really comfortable to wear. Then for the middle of my lips, I'm using the shade Staycation just to lighten it up a bit and add a bit of dimension. Then for blush, I'm using that same transition shade on a blush brush. And I find this is just a nice way to finish off a monochromatic makeup look. It just ties everything together beautifully. Then spraying my face with some fixing spray. I feel like I'm in the L'Oreal ads because I'm worth it. So they say. Anyways, that is the look completed. I love this look. I love the color pink. It's just soft. It's very glam. I think this look amazing if you are a bridesmaid in a wedding, or if you were a wedding guest, or if you just feel like being glam, which I often feel like. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Apologies again for the sound, but I'll have it sorted next time. Bye.